Can get started and just yeah, Jim. So we already have the meeting notes and thank you as well. I think you took the attendance already. Right, my God. Yeah, sure. So how is everyone this week? How was your week in the Dow?
Yeah,
Uh,
been
I'm seeing
awesome. And
it now in the PM General, Samuel BG. Okay, we'll come back to that actually. Come back to that. So I want us to like take turns to introduce ourselves, though we all know ourselves, right? Just to talk about how our week has been during this week, and go to the next person. So we'll be starting with D1. If you can unmute yourself and talk about how your week has been.
uh, inside traffic. Well, I'm fine. Thank you very much.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Over to you, Gabby. Gabby, are you there?
Maybe I'm here. Sorry about that. Hello, everyone. So, my week, it's been an awesome week. Actually, though, this is one. Most of the time, I've been traveling. Over with my week, but I've been just
You hope you're having a great week. And over to you, great. Great. Are you there? Okay. You can also send a message in the voice channel. You can't mute yourself. You can send a message in the voice channel, to talk about yourself. Okay. So I'm just seeing your message now. We are having the meeting recorded actually. So, okay. The meeting notes, you mean the meeting, um, the one you're doing right now? We are not actually taking the notes. It's recorded for references. If anyone wants to go over the meeting and all that, you can just check the YouTube channel. I for one think no one usually go about reading the notes in the first place, and yeah, so to save ourselves some bank, and because we have the budget, right? So we're still going to discuss about that, but just putting that out there. Thank you, David T, for volunteering to do that. But yeah, we're having the meeting recorded already, so we won't be taking notes. Over to you, Ipoli.
GM from it's been a great week. Ethic one filled with activities. Yeah, so it's been great. Thank you.
Also, thank you. Also, the feedback, and yeah. Bring that. So over to you, Tiffany. Okay. Yeah.
The week attended.
Thank you. What do you call it? Cool. Okay. If you can't unmute, you can also send message the voice channel. So to make this a quick one, so we can. Over to you, Flo.
Yes, I've had a really nice week. Got some work done in the project, the Podcast Hatchery project. And yeah, a little bit more on the Web3 PM course too.
Thank you. And I've seen your efforts, and you and Innovator are working really hard to push the Web3 PM course to make sure it's not idle. Appreciate you for your effort, and hopefully we could ship more before the season ends. Over to you, Samuel BG.
Yeah, Jim, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's an awesome week for me and Ethic one as well. So because I'm working on a project, so I was able to at least start questionnaire and then get my data back. So that's all I have to say for the week. So it's an awesome one. Let me just put it that way. Thank you.
Over to you, David T. Okay. I can't hear them. Okay, cool. Timothy said, thank you. Over to you, Vicky one.
It was really awesome week. Jim, everyone. And yeah, I get to see some of my siblings. I want to visit them, and it was really great seeing them back this week. And I came back, after some time spending sometimes with my sibling, and I have to come back to work, and it was so too much of work to do. So since then, I've been having but now we're working back to back, day and night. Right now, I'm actually happy that the weekend is coming, so I will have to rest very, very well. So thank you very much.
Go on. And yeah, I hope you had a nice time. You're visiting family members. So yeah, the family is all good. Welcome, Oracle. And if you don't mind, would you like to, introduce yourself? Let us know how your week has been. Just quickly. Oh, it's off. Okay. Over to you, Wednesday. Okay.
Jam, everyone.
Okay, like I said, yeah. Jam, you can continue. Yeah. Oh, okay. So without wasting more time, let us get started with our call today. So if you can see my screen, I'm sharing the meeting note and the weekly meeting agenda for today, and then we're going over the tax board. So we have done some quite amount of tax right here, and I want to appreciate everyone that worked on this to make sure we have them completed. And I'm really glad we're shipping out this season, even though we have low turnout of members, activities, and all that. We're still able to ship something for the season. As we still have some left. Some are already done, and some are still at the door, waiting for someone to pick them up. So yeah, thank you everyone for your hard work this season. So let's go to the in progress tax and to ask for update. This tax was reassigned to Colade the last call we had. Colade, do you have any updates on this? The PM gave this on LinkedIn page. Although I have Gabby mentioned something about the page being blocked or something like that. So maybe we have to come back to this, right? Maybe we'll come back to this. Colade, do you have any updates on this?
No updates on my end. So once
Okay,
push Gabby.
okay, good. So we'll just come back to that and talk about how we are going to walk away forward from that. Yeah. I think having some great is sending me a message now. So I want to jump over to that so we can get that done with, and that is for the design edu work stream code. I don't know what this is about, so if you can unmute and let us know what it's about. I got the thing from Gabby saying you could take on the tax. I was confused as when we set up the tax or something like that. So if you're around, great, can you unmute and shed some light on this?
Yeah, Jam, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So the first is all about our social media page. So it will be an excerpt from our materials and our postings that we can use for our social media page, especially for Twitter. So if it is designed, it will be posted on our Twitter page. Since we've been posting we've been posting without any design, so it will be an excerpt. So the word to design is actually in the task. You would see it when you open it. So
yeah, so I saw good project management is
okay.
So yeah. I think it's a good idea actually. I think it's a very brilliant idea, to get some visual concepts out there.
Yeah.
But I would say we have less than 3 weeks to the season ending. and this tax is just coming up right now. So maybe we could leave it at a backlog and reactivate this tax at the start of next season. So we'll be sure to get the metrics on how its reach is going to be. Just to start this tax like 2 weeks before season ending. I don't think it's a good idea. And like I said, we are going to be saving on some bank because we have there are still some delays about the funding. I think our reviewer has been quite unavailable for a while now, so we still haven't gotten the nod for the funding. So we want to be thrifty as much as we can to make sure we are comped for at least the first period of next season if we get our funding late. So this is a good idea, but I think it's
Thank you so
better
much.
if we leave it on deck.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
the backlog, I mean.
that's amazing. So till next season, we'll be having more of it next season. Yeah, thank you so much. So, is there any other thing you would love me to clarify?
No. That's all. That's all.
Okay, I'll be going off soon. Yeah, I have something very urgent to attend to. Thank you.
So let's continue with the project plan. Innovator Oxlaw. Innovator to our call, so I guess Oxlaw will be the one to do the honors. Oxlaw, do you have any updates aside from what you've written here?
Not well. Although I just had a talk with Jay Fanny before this meeting, and we need to continue the discussion kind of on funding in season 9. I understand that we're maybe a little bit late for that the funding. I haven't been able to have a talk with Great. I think he's been quite busy this week, but it would be good to have a talk on how to kind of combine this with the education lead. And then Innovator and I have started to kind of branch out, like how to build the PM course into different parts. And I think next week we will share the document and then ask for feedback. And once the funding is done, that's when we should start kind of building a larger team.
Yes, I absolutely support that. Want to stay stringent as far as we can be with the budget right now, so we don't overspend and come have a roadblock to cross when we start the first season, the first month of season 9. Usually when funding requests are late enough this way, we usually get the funding before we are done with the first period. Usually before we are done with the first period. So the reviewer has been taking quite a lot of time, and I recently noticed they were not that active, so they were probably busy with some other IRL things. So it's just quite not. I don't know. I don't want to use unfortunate, but we were not lucky enough to get maybe someone that would be fast enough. But yeah, every one of them is doing a great job, and I really hope they would they would be able to like consider the proposal and let us know what we need to do before we can get at least before the season ends. But this is an optimistic hope for me. But that should not be what will offend us for the next season. So that was why I've been saying we need to, stick tight to the budget and make sure we don't spend, way above our budget for this season because we have some assets. Those assets will come into play for situations like this. So, yeah, thank you for the update. So move on to cheat sheet. So I think this can be considered maybe. Or what do you think, Oslo? I think hence you found this one is pretty complete. I remember when Jika was working on this, and that was actually when we just finished the session with Samantha Mari. She came in as his talent scout from Writers Guild. This excellent talk. So what are your
So
thoughts on this?
I agree. So the task that GCal had 1 or 2 seasons ago, I think that's season 6. That's finalized. So but it doesn't really connect with what I had in mind. The document that I was thinking of is just like you were talent lead last season, to just write down your experiences and like your ideas for the next talent lead that I took over, and now I'm writing my experiences this season, and then the next talent lead after me again will kind of have that as a cheat sheet. So I try to put the different documents easily linked, so the new role holder for talent lead can just access that. And I think that would be good for education, guild coordinator, and like all the lead roles. So we don't need to start on bare ground. But
Yes, kind of like and we are still going to come back to this discussion. Actually, it's part of the discussion topic, not necessarily this, but something relating to handing over roles and responsibility. Because I believe when we have role leaders and they set a certain vision, they need to actually actualize their mission. And if they can't, let's say for some reason or some sorts, they need to leave, or maybe they got busy or something like that. Like what happened with Lens and Jika last season. It is a relief for someone taking it over to be sure that they have kind of like what I say, a cheat sheet, like you mentioned, to be able to stick to the vision and make sure they actualize that. We call this is the project management. If you want to like set a goal, actualize the goal before going for another goal. No, it's actually difficult for someone to finish a goal when you are having some changeovers, and the other person coming in actually have their own vision. Everyone have their own way of making a change in whatever organization they're in. So you can't definitely not force your own vision on someone else. Maybe there are sometimes the vision will be aligned, but not necessarily all the time. They might have some other ways to pass on that message. So I think it's okay for us to have that discussion. So after the tax review and all that. So thank you for the update of this, though.
Yeah. So I think that task could be finalized, because it's up to everyone to use it or not use it. But I think it's a good way to maintain organizational knowledge. So the next lead can do whatever that person wants, but then we have the history. Thank you.
So I think this and this are the same tasks, interwoven. So I think what that would in progress here. And moving on to the ops development retrospective, I should add another one. So we are having retrospective with the ops developments coming on the 22nd of this month, and I would like to say kudos to Apple for that great retro exercise they did with the AV Guild. I was reading the remarks, the feedbacks. They are actually very good, very very good, and this is what I like to see. Being confident that whoever is sent out on behalf of the PM Guild is able to execute the tasks brilliantly, and come back with some kudos. So kudos to you, I colleague, for that. And this is also putting it out to everyone. You know, if you don't have any experience taking virtuals, that's easy. You know, the guild is where you come to learn. That's why we have the education section. We have the talent management. We also have guild management. So if what you can do is reach out to the holders, but you can also try checking our YouTube page. Our YouTube page is home to all the videos of everything done in the PMQ. You can find the video to our weekly things, or and you can also find the video of retros, past retros, recent retros, and hopefully future retros as well. So you can go there, check the videos out, check how it is done, and practice that for yourself. Yeah, you can take a few practice retro here and there, and then before you know, you become a retro expert, and also be able to take contacts like this, because that is what I want. So we're moving on to the mirror post PM build. I think this is actually something we would have to send to next season, since there's been no updates. So wow. So maybe let me just leave it on there. Oh yeah, I'm back. So to review that. Oh sorry. Zeno,
Sorry,
you want to
actually, the tax for the ADD director, I don't see it on the board.
No, it's actually here. It is here into review. Right.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it is here into review. It is here into review. So this this is yeah.
I've added the video recording from the retrospective, and yeah, the video was actually posted on the YouTube channel, but it's posted as unlisted, so you can only watch it via the link. That is the one I embedded there. So Link said after the task is done, you should probably assign it to him to review and do the credentialing or the kudos, or any one of you. I don't know who exactly is going to do that.
So check the reviews from the feedback forms. And did you say this video can be downloaded on YouTube, right? So I was hoping I would send this to our what's it called? Our dash folder. So I'll upload that in our dash folder, and I'll create a new task to. I don't think I need to create a new task. I can just have links here to check.
Just assign it to links. Just change who is on the task to links.
So yeah, that is the podcast. And over to our discussion topics. So the discussion topics are based on season 8 reflection and season 9 exploration. So the first one is governance intervention, looking at the source consensus. So like I mentioned when about the talent coordinator cheat sheet, mentioned something about having this sort of continuum with stakeholders. You don't want when Mr. A sets a goal and Mr. B comes in, probably that is what comes with change of government. It's change of government, new plans. Probably the old ones are mostly neglected, and the new ones continue. And then each season is kind of like short. You might have a certain goal to complete something in a season, and you might not be able to complete it within a season, or maybe even set the goal to complete it within a certain amount of months, and then a season is 4 months. So if you are not able to complete that, it's better for you to complete the goal itself than to leave it undone. Example of that is the PM course, which we are actually defining now, thanks to Oxlaw and Innovator. It was a course that was kind of like, it was rushed. The course was rushed. It was a good initiative, but the course was rushed because everything was to be done within that season. So I guess Sprinkles for Winners was trying to make sure everything was covered within that season before the next one. So instead of the course having the capacity to help members, as that was the reason it was designed in the first place, it did neither. It could not help member. It could also not, it just could not help member because you couldn't get, if you try to read the course, you are going to get overwhelmed because there are a lot of information in the course that will not go now. So you have to, and I don't think there's anyone with the time to check the dictionary over time as they keep on reading, because it's very voluminous. It's bulky. It's a bulky course that needs to kind of like span over minimum 2 seasons. And if done right, a project can even spring out from the course itself, which is the plan for this new reformed course, which you can find in the tax here. Yes, here. So, I was now looking for a way out of this to make sure we have enough success with each of our set goals, and my solution is a soft consensus. So now, soft consensus works in this way: you have a goal set and the guild, and questions are asked, like the questions are asked that if the members of the guild feel a certain goal that is doing their job right, and if they should continue with their role for the next season. So if the answer is yes, then no election is made. Like so, the rollover just kind of like a rollover to next season. But if the answer is no, you have to state your reason. Okay, no, this is exactly what the person is doing, and I don't think this is helping the guild and all that. And then after even any no at all, if I think we're going to have like out of 10, if you can get 3 no's, then definitely something is wrong. So you want to like post election for that certain goal. So if you're getting no's, you have to give your reason for saying no. Some members might just choose no. Might just choose no unknowingly, not like they want to sabotage the election, but they just pick something, and it happens to be no. So if you have a reason, then that your no is kind of like business. So you need to like support the reason why they no, and you can have it. What I'm basically saying is that if there is a yes, there's no election will be posted for that rule. There's a no, election will come for that rule, and that is what a soft consensus is. And it has been applied in certain guilds, which I've happened to be a member of, and it worked. Yeah, I could say that it actually yielded more efforts than having rollers, swap every season. It's okay for rollers to have it in rollers and all that, but I believe you want consistency, you want continuum. That is where the whole apprentice program comes in. And understudy. That is where that is where everything such comes in, and that is also where cheat sheet comes in. So once you a role that is preparing a cheat sheet for an instance where they won't be able to continue the role, maybe because they were doing bad at it or because they have some other priorities that is getting them while occupied and they can't continue with the role. You have whoever is going to take on the role, after the election and all that. And before the election, you need to like prove that okay, you are an active member of the guild and all that. But okay, after the election and everything, you can go to the cheat sheet and look to what the holder has set for themselves. Like what are they trying to do? And mostly, whatever you're trying to do in a role is mostly aligned to that role. It is attributed to that role. So you basically do not need to think too far on how to implement that, how to add that to your own. You don't need to take everything from the holder, but you just want to make sure whatever you're doing is kind of like aligned with what the holder was trying to achieve, which is also aligned to that role itself. So I'll open the floor now for questions or even suggestions to come in before I take this as as done that. So over to anyone. The mic is open.
I have one comment.
Yeah, sure.
I like everything you said about the self-consensus. The only thing I don't like, I think, is always good to rotate some roles. I fully support consistency, but is it four roles that we have? 4 or 5?
Yeah. I think it's 4.
Yeah, 4. So, if the 4 roles, like if the same 4 role holders stay for the next season, there's a risk that, after 2 seasons, all of them, maybe they get a little bit tired and want to do something else. And it's always kind of also keeping other people out from, have to go out role. Because at least for my part, it's a step up from on the daily, on the weekly meetings. I have more to contribute with because of that role, and that is good for me, but it's also good to share around the guild.
Yeah. So to answer that, the roles are not they are not infinite roles. It's not kind of like an immortality syndrome or something. Every role have their own span. Each guild have their own span. So I think is it 2 seasons or 3 seasons? Yeah. Everyone have their own span. In the relationship guild before, you have the ability to go for the role again. This one they were not even doing the subconscious stuff then. They just have to. You can go for the role again. But obviously, if someone's holding a role before going for the role again, most times they are going, winning the election because they are doing something and people are still there doing something, so they obviously get nominated again. So once you are in that role, and then you go again. After a season or 2, after the second season, you are mostly advised, to take a step back, relax, and you can come back. But yeah, you need to take a step back and relax, look at what you're doing, and give others a chance to come in. Within that time, you have to have done a goal you set for yourself. I mean, you can't set a goal within the duration of 4 seasons. Is that possible? I don't think that's possible. Only 3 seasons is like 3 seasons max. So say you have that instance and let's say 2 seasons. Yeah, let's say 2 seasons. So within that second season, you're mostly done with your goal, you're mostly done with the cheat sheet, and any new member coming in, obviously we have active members, any new member coming in is that can even reach out to you when they are stuck with something, they need advice or something, they need help or something.
Just give me your question.
Can you hear me?
Can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fanny, okay. Fanny, maybe you need to disconnect and connect again. I'm not sure. So you basically need to just come back leave other members, you have the clean sheet, you have the cheat sheet for you, and then you also have the availability of the holder themselves. You can go to them and ask them a question. Hey, you're coding this role for, I don't know, last season. Can you help me with something like this? Can you point me to how I can go about this? I'm having a situation here. How did you handle this during your tenure or something like that? I think that itself promotes continuity, right? Where you have the new holders being able to go back to the old holders and ask for advice, ask for way. I mean, you can see that in the guild here, where links comes here in place sometimes. Last call, I was not able to host the session. I was not with my laptop, and links had to step in. I was even suggesting we postpone the call to today, because I was, I already asked during the call meeting if there was anyone that would want to host them, and then no one stepped up. Like, if links did not come in at that time, we'll probably just have to, move the meeting to today. So that's just something for us to look at. Links was able to handle the call because they were formerly the guild coordinator. Actually, they even suggested this method, the weekly task committee. They suggested this method and it has been working for us ever since. So, does that answer your question, Oxnard, or your concern?
My concern was more involvement, because it's obvious that when you're a role holder, you will be more involved both in the meetings and in between the meetings. And I think it's important to rotate both the involvement and also, of course, it's a steady stream of banks. That's also, of course, positive. So, make sure that we share among all members, active members.
Exactly. So it will be shared actually. Like, it is being shared. I mean, you have the opportunity to become an active member, and say after 2 seasons you can. The role of that automatically after 2 seasons, not 3 seasons. I don't know. We need to discuss about the maximum, but the role that after the maximum automatically does not have the the right to go for the role again. Not even for any other role. They just need to take a step back and relax and let other members come in. And this is also, how do I put it? A way to make sure something like what happened with the sprinkles ask. I think one of the reasons why we are having maybe a break in the guild. I would want to attribute it to the bank, but yeah, enough about the bank grade being this and that. We need to see more, not from only bounties. Example is what some of the is doing. If the bounty is not on the board and you actually have something in mind that will also help the guild, positively, you can and write a proposal. The guild will look to the proposal, discuss the proposal during the call. If it's something we are able to fund, we'll go ahead and fund the proposal, and you have your second. The tasks here and there, you have yourself the active member staff. That is contributing to the guild. I feel we need to look at this on the side of what is the guild doing and what is the main purpose of the guild. Because I've been getting that question several doing the GC calls, and I answer them, say, yeah, we are the project management guild. Basically, right now, we are just looking to build project managers. And that is what we are doing. That's what we are doing with the practice tools itself. Rotating rules itself is just kind of like added accessory. Sorry, roles themselves are kind of like added accessory. In my opinion, every member is equal. All members are equal, irrespective of you being a holder or not. You have the equal opportunity to contribute to the game. And then you also have the season end coordinator, which in my opinion, no holder should what did I say? No that should partake in in receiving the bank. You can share the bank within the active members. But as a role that I feel you're already getting paid. So it's not like you're doing any extra. You are doing an extra because sometimes role tend to go above and beyond to achieve their task. But I feel you're already being comped for that. So the rest should be going to the active members, for what they have been doing. Example, the tax completion and all that. So I think they are also getting compensated with the coordinator itself, which is, I think, that's close to 50K. And then we have, say, 10 active members. That's like roughly estimate of 5K each, which is, a way to say thank you, even after being, there's bounties here that have been assigned and being paid for. Right? So I don't think, though we have some good leaders here, and I think we don't have 4 roles also. I think we have 5. The 5th one being the Notion administrator. I think the first one was the team coordinator, planning coordinator, application coordinator, treasurer, and the Notion administrator. So we have 5, not 4.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So that's actually like my thoughts on the soft consensus and how it could help us in the queue. So does anyone else have any suggestion concerning this?
GM everyone. Yeah, it's actually a good idea in terms of consistency and effectiveness. It has been tested and actually it's a very good initiative that should be inculcated the group as well. But I just want us to clarify it. In terms of this consensus, we have 2 ways actually. And the first one is if you comply with the poll that the person should automatically be should continue to the role in the next season. The first one is to pass like 90%, and even though you have a no that is 30%, that does not really matter, and nobody will actually ask you why you did that. But another one is a situation where you have a yes and no. So if we have 90%, 99% yes, and we have 1% no, so which means, or if the person actually explains, we have to conduct election for that particular position. So I just want us to clarify which one we are actually going for, so that it will not be confusing. Personally, I support it. It has worked in the guild I'm presently in, and over the time, it yield productivity, and also it helps in continuity and also effectiveness in that particular role. And another thing is the extent at which a particular person will have to hold the role. Presently, we have people that have been holding the role for the consensus we start. Is it going to be 3 months for the consensus? Because if you've been holding the role for, or let's say, 2 seasons now, and we are starting the consensus now, then we are just introducing the consensus for now. When and how many seasons are we going to do, or are we going to allow a particular person to go through this, or to hold a particular role? Is it 3 months? Is it 2 months? Are we going to count the one you've held before, or are we starting fresh with the new consensus system we want to adopt?
For that question. So the first one I think was the 90% and the 99%. acceptance rate. So I would say if we have a no at all, you know, if we have a no at all and there is a solid reason behind the no, like this person did this and that, and this is why I think they are not fit for this role, you know, a solid argument. I don't think any argument should be overlooked. So even if it's point one, I think it's if it's a solid argument, I think it's okay to hold an election. Now the holder will still have the option to go for the election again if that is if you are holding an election for the role. I mean the incumbent holder will have the option to go for the role again, as well as anyone else who need to go for the role. But what I'm just trying to say is if we have a no at all, we are having an election. A no with a valid reason, of course. Like you state, you when you choose your no, you can open a trade under that and state the reason why you feel the holder is not fit to continue with that. So now the second question is about the validity of the continuum. So since we are just starting with the source consensus, I would say we could consider the roles being held before, and the maximum will be I don't know, 2 or 3 seasons, I guess. So within 2 or 3 seasons, that would be the maximum. But we have to consider the roles that have been held for this season because we are adding the changes this season, not necessarily. Like it will take place this season because what we do in the PM Guild is before we get to the next season, we're already concluded on who is going to be the holder. So they would have to prepare themselves before the next season starts and be able to like walk forwards. So that we don't enter next season and then start the election and then we have this lackadaisical activity in the guild and holders and then over and all that. That is why we mainly make sure to do the election before we finish that season. So going forward to next season, each holder know, okay, I'm continuing with this role. Oh, okay, I'm coming into this role. This is what I'll be needing. Let me reach out to this certain person for assistance before the season starts. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Do you have any other question? Or does anyone have any other question concerning this? Okay, I see someone is typing. Okay. Okay, no one is typing actually. So all in favor of okay, let's just do a quick consensus. Say GM, and I'm adding reaction to the GM. So you can add a thumbs up to the if you check the chat channel. I have a GM there. You can add a thumbs up if you are in support of the lazy consensus after all the explanation, or a thumbs down. If you are in support of if you are not in support of the lazy consensus. So this will be our first consensus, which will make me tick that as an accepted idea, and then we can go forward to the next discussion topic. So give us about how many members are there in the call? 13. So once we have 13 reactions, we are good to go. So where to add your reaction is in the chat channel. Just add your reaction to the GM signal I sent. Sent a message, GM message there. Just add your reaction. And once we have 13 reactions, we are good to go. Hi, Polly, do you have any question? I see you're typing, so you can also send me your message in that channel. All right, got you. Thank you for attending the call. Thank you for your work on the lecture as well. We have 11 reactions, 2 more to go. I believe we have, 1 more to go. Actually, I put it left. Got you. Okay, so then I'll just mark that as concluded topic. Got you. So, what did we achieve as a guild during our season 8 campaign? So, our completed tasks here are all evidence of what we've done during our season 8. And like I said, I'm happy we were able to ship this far, because when we started the season, I was kind of like skeptical about how we will how we will perform this season, because the numbers members activity dropped drastically, just dropped drastically, and I was like, oh, I don't think we're able to do as well as we have done in the previous season. But yeah, the whole completed task itself proved me wrong, and the tenacity of the members, also sent a message in the PM Guild General, and I was actually very happy and was optimistic again. Now, yeah, we can do this, and these are the evidence of me believing in the guild, and I'm really, really glad we were able to ship this far. We still have some weeks left before the season ends, so I know the tasks in progress, the tasks on deck, and the tasks to review will also be here within time before we end this season. So I say thank you to everyone for making this season, a success that it is now. Kudos to everyone, be it active members or the peer project management members, even the new members. I've seen some of you consistently in the calls, consistently willing to take on tasks. So kudos to you, and thank you for your efforts during our season 8 campaign. Okay, does anyone have anything to say? Do you have anything to say, or do you need if you have anything to say at all, you can say that now before we move to the next one. I'm sorry I'm taking time, but I want to get done with this before our next call. But I'm pretty sure members might not be as might not come in this way for the next call, because that is already close to the gap week, and so people are actually planning towards the gap week. So let's just get this done and be over it. So no questions. So let me just mark this. Then we have Samuel BG's proposal discussion. So if you haven't checked the proposal, it is right here in the. Let me copy the link and drop it in the chat channel. So you can check the proposal. It's about Samuel BG, wanting to do POAPs. So if you are wondering what POAPs is a kind of an SBT, participate of proof of attendance, for events, which kind of is on the blockchain that signifies your activity and your participation during a certain event. Say during the merge, the Ethereum merge, they have their POAP for the merge. So which the POAP itself is telling you that you are adding, you're having you're having a certain participation during merge and all that. So it's just just like an on-chain SBT. SBT means soulbound token. Actually, it means something that cannot be transferred. Once you have an SBT, like if I send you an SBT NFT, it is only sent to you. You can't send the NFT to someone else. You can't transfer it. So it's a soul bound, kind of like a soul. Soul bound token. So that's what SBTs are. So I want to add my comments, on the proposal. I think the proposal is a very, very good proposal. When I came to the PMD, I suggested something about POAPs for the PMD, and I think I earned some for the PMD. I think so. But we are in this age where POAPs itself is not, it's kind of like on the downside. It's dying out. It's dying off, sorry. So the POAP culture is kind of like dying off. We don't have, most guilds are kind of like, making do, they are doing away with POAPs right now. Why is that? Is the POAP itself is no longer free. Before POAPs are kind of like free. It's just something like a vibe check. You can design a beautiful POAP. If you check the PMD general, some of it is sent kind of like a mock POAP that I did for the PMQ. You can make something like that, and it's sort of a vibe check. Just you look in your wallet and you say, "Oh, this is me saying I attended the PM Guild meeting. I'm a member of the PM Guild. I host these certain POAPs and all that." But soon started monetizing the way POAPs are being issued. Before you can just use Upload POAP, and everything is being sent on the blockchain. They will send you a certain code that you can send to individual members. It's a unique code I can send to individual members, which they will use to claim the POAP. And then there are also ways to have a certain bot. It's no longer in motion right now. It's not working again. Have a certain bot take the attendance itself and then distribute the POAP per link to everyone. It's when you interact with the bot and all that. What I'm just trying to say is the old POAP culture is dying out. The culture is dying out. And in a case, on this PM Guild case, where we are trying to save costs and save some funds, I don't think we would want to like spend money on something that is kind of like out of the fashion. So that I would say on my own end, I would say a no to the proposal, and hopefully maybe next season, let's see how it goes. We could run a proposal, but for this season, it's actually ending already. So I would say a no to the proposal. But that is my own option. That is my own opinion, not on any one of you. I'm not forcing my opinion on any one of you. You can drop your opinion in the thread. The thread link is there in the chat channel. So let's move on to the next task. Okay. So I'm seeing something from BT1 about the LinkedIn discussion. So it's not something we are to discuss on the call because it's not here. Right? So the LinkedIn is something I suggested to Oracle to create a thread or a DM. Probably a thread would be better. Or I'll do that. I'll do that now. Create a thread. I'll tag you, tag links, tag Vicky1, tag all the others. And then we can explain how the LinkedIn page has been banned and what we plan to do from there. It's not on the agenda. I think I mentioned that before. But thank you, Vicky1, for the reminder. So season 9 proposal discussion and budget for the remainder of season 8. I think I already mentioned something about this actually. Our proposal has been on the slow end. Our reviewer has kind of like they're taking their time, I would say, with the proposal. So we have not been getting enough. We have not gotten the amount yet. So we are still kind of like trying to manage the budget we have for this season and hopefully have enough enough left to cater for the first period of season one, season nine, which I know that before that we should have our funding because I already sent a message to Daolesa. Daolesa is our reviewer, and hopefully they, check the message and get back to me. So could know, and I'll drop the updates in the general channel if we get there once and any update comes in. So yeah, that's that on that. And does anyone have any questions? Okay. So the next one is retrospective as a way to generate revenue for the guild. So as while we have been hosting retros, okay, thank you. So as while we have been hosting retros for the within the guild, and also there are some retros that will be hosted. That will be a paid retro. That is 6K bank. That's how much we charge. No, that was then actually. We'll probably need to increase the charge for the retro. But before you increase the charge for something, you want folks to see value they are getting from that itself. So that is why we are using the free retros to develop project managers that would, even go into a project. For example, I think there was a discussion about the governor not having a project manager and all that. Go into a project and being able to deliver. That is something, right? And now picture a retro, but not for Bankless, that a retro for another project after Bankless. Obviously, we're going to charge for that. And then we're going to generate revenue for the itself. So we will sort of like generate revenue ourselves, kick some back to the DAO, and then some will be left in the treasury, some will be shared within the team that worked on the retro and all that. So that's kind of like a rough sketch, which will kind of like discuss wellness next call. I don't want to like tick it off now because I know the time is far spent, and I apologize for that actually. And if we don't have any other discussion to make or have anything to say, I would want to suggest we end the meeting now. Apologize for taking the time actually. So, do you have a second on ending the meeting? Do you have a second on ending the meeting?
I would like to hear just what Wiki One sent a message on. We are about time, and we have not talked about the LinkedIn.
So this discussion is actually going to take a lot of time because I've not been able to actually. I've not gotten all the information about that. So I was suggesting to Gabby, because he sent me a message then, to create a group DM or a thread and add all the holders and links, and so that we can talk about that. Then from there we can know about what we do, because what I know from what I heard was that the LinkedIn page was built on a personal page, and somehow it was, it was banned according to LinkedIn rules. I'm not a social media person, so I didn't actually get the whole explanation. So that was what I was saying. Okay, just create a good DM or a thread and let's discuss there. So everyone will be able to follow along. And I think the thread is a good option because any member can also join in the thread and see what we are discussing about.
Sorry, Matthew. What actually happened was that I think it was because of the new terms for LinkedIn. I think that was the reason. But the reason why I want us to discuss it is just to get it running on time, because we've been dealing with this thing for they asked us to do some verification, of which we did everything, but the account was not released back to us. But to just get things running, I told Gabby to create another one in line with the new rules that we followed. And now, all we want to do is just to let everybody know what went wrong and what we actually tend to do next and what we are doing presently. And what we want to do now is to get all the contents and everything we have on our Miro and the one we've posted on our LinkedIn before, and then get it posted on the new one. and ask people to we just start our mode of operation as regards what we've been doing in LinkedIn. So if you move it to a DM or something, a group DM or something, it will actually take time because so many people want to comment, want to reply, want to share their opinion based on their availability and stuff like that. But if we talk about it in mentions like this, people will have to, contribute to it and tell us what they are actually feel and maybe some of the new ideas we have to add to it. And that is why I want us to discuss it here. And it's actually being solved. We actually solved the main issue, which is creating a new account in line with their rules and regulations. And it's up and running. And all we just want to do is to let the folks know what went wrong and what we actually intend to do and what we are doing exactly.
That is a very thoughtful idea. But I feel like it's something that concerns the whole view, right? So I was hoping we could, if you could send a message about that in the okay. If you send a message about that, maybe in a forum, we could start a forum discussion. I created the PM Guild forum. I called it PM Guild. Maybe I should just change it to PM Guild forum, and we can start a discussion there. You have already sent. You have already done the call needed. The needed improvements to that. I see no reason why we can't continue. I feel like if we should want to carry everyone
Of
along.
course,
So yeah, maybe
of course, we can actually continue the conversation. But all I just want to do, and I want us to do, or I'm suggesting, is that since we've been held back by LinkedIn for some weeks now, and we have accounts ready and we have everything set up, why can't we just continue what we've been doing before while we are having the conversation? Or what do you think?
Yeah, sure. Claudia, are you there? Because the task has been assigned to Claudia, so I'm not sure if you're expecting. Claudia, are you there?
Gabby is also here.
So that is the
Gabby, you
update on the LinkedIn.
you can just get it running and get all the content you have on LinkedIn before and the mirror and just get it running.
Yeah.
Okay, I get you, Claudia. So what is needed from us, VQ1?
The only thing that is needed from us is just for Colin to get in touch with Abby and the from content or the articles and everything. There's no much. It's just the way we used to post before, and that's how we're still going to post.
Thank you. So you are out to go about the LinkedIn page. So just reach out to Gabby and spending the longest time. And this is actually so kudos to everyone for sticking around. I apologize for taking a bulk of your time. So if you also need to get it and then move on to the next one. So in the absence of no questions or suggestions or in the chat channel. And Vicky, please a forum post for that. And I think it's open to everyone. So you can just create a new topic and, we discuss more there. Tagging project management skill and all that. So can I get a second on in the call now?
Second that, Mikhail. Thanks. You've done a good job today. It's a lot to cover today.
Second, third, fourth, fifth.
So your next week.
See you next week.